all silliness aside, um, it's been a while since I did my other video because honestly, when I did the other video, I don't know what I was thinking. And when I watched it again, every time I watch it again, if someone shows it to me or something, I'm like horrified at what I did. Like blinding myself with floss. Oh my god. That was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for me to watch, and embarrassing for other people to tell me that I did. It was really bad. Sorry, guys. But yesterday was an important day for me. Yesterday was the last class of my high school career, my last classes, last day of senior classes, and it was it was personally impacting because I spent the last 4 years here, and I got really sentimental when I was like hugging everyone I know. And so if any of you guys are watching this in the future, if any I went to school with you guys or anything, just know if this is like for whatever reason a couple years into the future, or a couple months into the future, where we're off someplace else, I miss you guys, I really do. And yeah. But yesterday also was my last day of physics. Physics was the last class that I had where I actually had to do work, which I thought was kind of absurd, but it's physics. I can't really expect anything different. But what I especially remember from yesterday, and I hope the kids in my class remember it because it was fun for me, I hope it was fun for you, where I had this creative lab where basically I could do anything that I felt like doing, any of my talents, any of this fun stuff, as long as I could relate it back to physics. And I basically did what I always do for fun, which are accents. Now, you may note, someone actually noted in my last video that I sound white. They said, I close my eyes and you sound white. You sound white. Who's calling? Unavailable. Bleh, bleh, bleh. But he said, I close my eyes and you sound white. And I thought that was really interesting because I never really listened to how I sound, or if I... Jeez. Oh, I hate those people. Anyway, they said I sounded white, and I'm like, I don't really listen to how I sound, and if I do listen to how I sound, I don't note what I sound like. I'm mostly like covering my ears, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to you guys. But I don't really know how I sound. But I guess I speak in an American accent because I've been living here for the majority of my life. But one of my hobbies is to do accents, and I practice these every so often. And I do two types of accents. One is this British accent, and then this other one is this Vietnamese accent. This is like this really stereotypical Vietnamese accent that I picked up from like the Onage Pranks video, like the Buck Lao and stuff like that. And I have a lot of fun with these, but the trouble is, the majority of the time I can't get an objective opinion from people. Well, I can't get an objective opinion ever. But the thing is, when I do these things to my friends and I talk to them in these accents, they never really believe that I can do it only because they know me. So it would be great to have some outside criticism here, because I personally think they're all right. I've managed to trick certain people into thinking I'm British. You know who you are. But I also like do this thing where I meet people and I pretend that I'm from. Before I pretended I was from Sussex, and then I realized that's not a valid backstory. So now I'm saying I'm from Winchester, which is in Hampshire or something. I'll find out more about that later. But my last presentation was I was doing these accents and I was explaining waves, and I was explaining how accents are formed by vocal cords like vibrating and diffraction of sound waves. And this is, I guess, my way of trying to figure out how I can improve. So this is it. I have a book right here, Harry Potter. So British, so British. And I'm gonna pick a random page. So, okay, this page is 132, and it's talking about filch. So I'm gonna read a passage. I'm gonna read these in my three accents. So right now, this is my American accent, and I'm gonna read a short passage. Filch owned a cat called Mrs. Norris, a scrawny, dust-colored creature with bulging lamp-like eyes, just like Filch's. She patrolled the corridors alone, break a rule in front of her, put just one toe out of line, and she'd whisk off for Filch, who'd appear, wheezing, 2 seconds later. I'll stop there. So that's my American accent. I'm going to start reading in my Vietnamese accent. Now, if there are people who are Vietnamese who are watching this, don't get offended, but you know what? Get offended. I don't care. Okay. Filch owned a cat called Mrs. Norris, a scrawny, dust-colored creature with bulging lamp-like eyes just like Filch's. She patrolled the corridors alone, break a rule in front of her, put just one toe out of line, and she'd whisk off to Filch, who'd appear wheezing 2 seconds later. That's my Vietnamese accent. Now I'm going to start reading my British accent. Filch owned a cat named Mrs. Norris, a scrawny, dust-colored creature with bulging lamp-like eyes just like Filch's. She patrolled the corridors alone, break a rule in front of her, put just one toe out of line, and she'd whisk off for Filch, who'd appear, wheezing 2 seconds later. Now, I personally think that my British accent is not that far out. My main goal is to make it seem more legitimate and less forced. I think personally right now it's a little bit forced, but I haven't had as much time to practice the British accent as well as I do with the Vietnamese accent, because I always do it all the time. So I'd like, at least, you know, from people who don't know me, or if they do know me, don't know me as well to the point where they don't think I can do an accent. Personally, I don't think it's that far out. Um, I, Personally, a year ago I couldn't do a British accent worth a squat, and recently I've decided to start using more British slang like sod, bollocks, those stereotypical things. And I try to meet people, and if I do meet people, I'll say, "Hello there, I'm from Winchester," or if they ask me from where I'm from, I'll say, "I'm from Winchester." And I'm trying to develop a credible backstory. And the thing is, most people don't believe that I could be British, mostly because, one, I'm Asian, and two, I'm my accent slips in and out, you know. So I'm trying to get more feedback so I can improve, and I'd like your guys' help on that. You can tell the general differences between how I'm sounding right now and when I'm talking like this. So I'm talking like this, and then I'm talking like this, and then I'm talking like this. Stereotypical Vietnamese baklao. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, I'd like some feedback, because honestly, I think if I had like a talent, or a vague talent that I think that I can at least be vaguely good at, it would be accents. That's the only thing I can do. Honestly, I can write, but I get lazy, and I can do other stuff. But this is the stuff that I actually have the most fun with. So just let me know, creative or not, decent or not. So, and yeah, just some honest feedback. If it's at all possible, wow, British Tourette's. If it's at all possible, I'd like some, honest feedback that's not like completely criticizing, like you suck or something like that. But it would really help me out. It would help me, Twan, out. It would help Pierce out. That's my British persona, Pierce from Winchester. And it would really help Gin out. That's my Vietnamese name. It's not actually my Vietnamese name. It's a character from this book that I read. But yeah. It's good, very good, very good. Ta ta.